Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and welcome to another RAWtalk episode. This week it's number 49, Steven. It's already been a year. There were a couple that I missed, but this is episode 49. We've been very consistent for at least 20 weeks in a row, I think. And this one is called I Went to the Dark Side, ... just for a visit. But we'll shorten it.
I wonder who we're talking about.
Well, it's Canon, Steven. It's Canon. We're going to discuss this. We've got a Canon discussion, a Creative Live discussion, a Nikon Allenza-Palooza discussion. We've got a discussion about the product of the week. We have your photo news. And then we've got not yours, but we have the flying solo portion where people asked questions.
Good stuff?
Yeah, good stuff. There's some interesting questions in there. Some are good. There were a few that I pulled that were pretty not good that I probably want to talk about just a little bit. But hey, they're good questions. There's bad questions. You have to take them all and you have to answer them and go from there. How was your week?
It was good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just edited all week pretty much.
What, my stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We have some good reviews coming up.
Yeah, our whole thing is trying to get ahead of the game. Yeah, everybody asks, how do you constantly put out content? Well, if you take a day like a Monday and you make 4 videos, and they're 4 solid videos, and then Steven goes home on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, or Friday, or whatever days he does, and he spends a couple days editing them and then uploading them, it makes it much easier to have videos in the can so that I can focus on going to Canon for a day and a half, or I can go somewhere and do something. I mean, I make content on my own, I make content with Steven, but we do get it done.
Except my internet's been crap the past week, so uploading sucks.
Well, that's Comcast, bro.
I've been stealing my girlfriend's internet or my parents' internet.
Yeah.
Going to their house to upload
They
everything.
didn't fix it yet?
No, they said 2 weeks that they have up to fix it.
2
So, and it's been
weeks.
about a week and a half.
2 weeks.
So they only have a few more days.
What movie, Steven? 2 weeks.
I don't know.
We gave you this one like episode 18 ago.
Yeah, 18
episodes ago. You should know 2 weeks.
Give me more of a hint.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Wow, 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 wow.
I don't know what we're talking about.
For anybody watching at home, I just stuck the pen up my nose to try to symbolize pulling a tracking device out of my brain.
Oh.
Total Recall.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of Total Recall, let's go back. Let's talk about my Canon visit, Steven. Because people saw pictures I was posting. I got a call or I got an email from Canon PR, and they were saying, hey, we're going to have this event. We'd like you to come up to New York and then Long Island, because they're in Melville. They have a new facility. It's a nice, big facility. It's beautiful. It's very plain and boring, but it's a nice-looking facility. You know, I walked into, I'll get back to all the other stuff, but I walked into the conference room at Canon, and they have, like, touch panels on the wall for turning the lights and raising the shades, and I was like, oh, I want to raise the shades and with everybody sitting here. But anyway, so how it works is they contact a bunch of writers, a bunch of different journalist type of people. I don't consider myself a journalist, but a lot of people would because I'm reporting on stuff. They offer to pay to bring you up there. They pay to give you a hotel room. I'm not going to hide the fact that they do that. Yeah. That doesn't mean they get that you give them preferential treatment. You don't. They pay for it. So if somebody's going to offer you that stuff, you take it. But one of the reasons I went up there was to be in front of Canon, to have people see me there and meet people. And that's the whole thing. You get out there. Like, I was like, this better not suck. This better not be a horrible waste of time. But I got to hang out with other like-minded people. Oh, is that Kitty coming down?
I don't know. It sounds like
or
she's
is it
in
raining?
The vents or something.
Or is it raining?
I don't know.
Oh,
it could be
rain. Look at those clouds.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Anyway, Mr. Miyagi here, but he's upstairs under the bed.
Mr. Miyagi?
Yeah. What movie, Steven?
I'm thinking Super Troopers just for Meow.
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid? Well, you're saying Miyagi. You're saying Mr.
that's
Miyagi.
rain,
That's
Steven.
rain.
Holy crap.
Oh, I see it. Oh, wow.
Well, at least if the power goes out, we're recording on all batteries.
Touche.
Because we are recording.
Well, the lights will go out.
And I gave Jaleel the ice light for the weekend. He wanted to borrow it for a wedding. But yeah, if the lights go out, we'll just do it in the dark. You know who does it in the dark? Lionel Richie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Lionel Richie. What's that song go? I remember the song where he's sitting on the toilet in the video. Walking on the ceiling or something. Anyway, back to Canon. So you meet great people. You talk with other people that have websites. And I was at the bar that's where everything happens. At the bar is where you meet people. And there were two guys. They were from DP Review. One was the founder of DP Review, and the other's like the head writer
I love
and all that.
The reviews.
Right.
Very particular.
thorough.
Yeah.
I've watched their reviews or I've read their reviews since they don't have video. Thus, the discussion we were having at the bar. But it was just great because they're like, we love what you do. We like the fact that you came into a field where there's a lot of people already out there and you stand out. So that is what you go for. If the Canon announcement sucked, which it did, then the saving grace was that I got to talk with these guys for a couple of hours and start to have these discussions, high-level discussions about stuff. That is why you go and you do things even if you think you may not want to. And you know, Canon offering to bring me up. I got to take the Acela train. That's the speed train, an hour and 5 minutes from Philly to New York.
Really?
Yeah, hour and 5. It's expensive as hell.
I was gonna say, what is that ticket price?
Well, it was $149.
Because I paid $100 last time when I went up, but I took like the middle train.
It's still $100. Usually I go from, I hope nobody's bored. I mean, I like these. This is a podcast. You have discussions.
Yeah.
That's what they're all about. Anyway, from there, I believe round trip was $248.
Oh my God.
They paid for it. They asked me what train I wanted to take. I said the 2:30 leaving 30th Street Station, and in a Acela train, I just ruined myself. I ruined myself because it's so amazing. High-speed rails. I mean, our high-speed rail is nothing compared to anybody else's around the world, but you're there in an hour and 5 minutes. Where when I go from Hamilton, and if I get a super, wow, it's really raining.
Yeah.
If I get a super express train and makes only 4 stops, that takes 62 to 67 minutes.
Yeah, I forget what train I took, but when I went to New York, it took us like an hour and a half.
Oh, really?
And it was like $100 round trip, I think.
Oh, well, see,
it was like the middle of the road.
I may do that.
Train.
I may consider that.
Yeah.
It's an extra half an hour, but
And
I don't know that
seats,
I don't know what I want to spend. But they have internet on this train. They have a food car.
They had internet. I don't know about a food truck or food car.
I don't need food car. But
yeah.
Anyway, the Acela was great. They put us up in the hotel. They picked us up. They drove us over. We sat in a car going to Long Island for like an hour and a half through traffic and stuff, talking to other people. And you get to meet great people. Dinner was good. Hang out with Canon's people. Get to be seen. And that's what it's all about. And I know this went on too long as a discussion, but what they were doing, they were doing an unveil. So you sign an NDA, so you can't leak it or you can't say anything about what's going on. But I was hoping it was going to be some good stuff, and it wasn't.
And what's an NDA for those people who...
Non-disclosure agreement. That means they give you information that you're not allowed to tell anybody until a certain time. And at this point, the stuff is already out. The Canon just released like a G16, just point and shoot stuff, a couple of printers, nothing of importance. So it really wasn't worthwhile to sit through that. But whatever. It was worth going to. I feel good about it.
Did Canon Rumors leak it before it was officially announced?
It was up on Canon Rumors by the time I got home from New York.
Yeah.
I went to Canon Rumors and there was the whole list of stuff. So either somebody did it from that room, which is the dumbest thing to do if you really want to.
Uh-oh. That was definitely raindrops in your apartment.
Was that really?
It sounded like it, but it's not there anymore.
But let's find out where it came from.
For those who are just listening, it's like pouring out.
It's pouring, and we got to find that.
Yeah, it was right over where the plant is, around that area.
All right.
So
anyway, we'll keep going
because
I got to call the roofing guy if that's the issue.
Yeah,
I don't want rain in here.
No,
but that sounded like it was in here.
It definitely was.
Anyway, the long story short is, it was on Canon Rumors before I even got home, and none of the stuff was important, so I won't even talk about that. Why don't we just get to news first before I even get into this other Creative Live and Nikon's Palooza thing and stuff like that. But no, the Canon visit was worth it. I love seeing those people going up to their properties and having people walk up to me and know me and I don't know them.
Yeah, that's
at
cool.
least in Canon. The point was to be seen.
Yeah.
I want to be seen because I want to be recognized, that I want Canon to send me gear. I want to get NDAs from them so I can play with stuff before it comes out. And I really hope it's not raining in here.
Yeah.
All right, Steven. Music?
Music. We got a lot more emails this week, so I got to go through a bunch of them. We got a lot more this week.
Okay.
And we have to go over, just me and you, like take a listen to them.
Was there anything really good?
There were a couple that were really good, but I also have a feeling there was a couple that they sent me that weren't copyright free. Like it was something that they just found and put up on there. So I got to check them out. I got to email people back. So if you haven't heard back from me yet, you will, and we'll let you know. And
if you have a piece of music that you've made yourself that you would like to be the intro to Steven's news, about 10 to 12 seconds long, send it to Steven, STEPHEN, at FroKnowsPhoto.com. FroKnowsPhoto.com. Remember that all photo news stories can be found over on FroKnowsPhoto.com. Look for episode number 49. The full detailed information is there. Steven, your turn for news.
First up, we have drone photography and videography. That's really becoming something lately. It's growing pretty rapidly, starting to incorporate into weddings for like flyby shots, stuff like that. Well, apparently it's not too good to have at a wedding because someone actually flew their GoPro, which was mounted on a DJI Phantom Area drone quadcopter, into the groom. Now, this wasn't at the actual wedding on the wedding day. This was 2 days prior at the bridal shoot. But they're doing this, and I guess he thought that he had a lot more time for the lift to actually get up in the air, and flew right into the groom.
Yeah, that's interesting. But you got me with the 2 days before at the bridal shoot.
Yeah.
What the hell are they doing? 2 days before they're doing all the photos?
I agree.
Like, it's just like, that's not your wedding day.
Yep.
Those photos are fake.
Yeah.
They're fake photos, Steven.
Well, that's pretty much what they were. They were posed photos that were clearly not on the same. Well, I mean, luckily they weren't on the wedding day because of accidents like this. But yeah, this guy, and the thing is, he put up the video online to showcase, mistakes that you shouldn't be making, saying that it's not good to do these. So
if you're going to fly those helicopters or tricopter,
you really need to test them out.
You need to know the limits.
Because those things are fast.
Oh, there's the kitty.
And it takes a couple minutes to really get high up in the air. And he flew this thing. There's video on the website of it. It's straight on into the groom. The groom ended up cutting his cheek. Yeah, 2 days prior. So hopefully it healed up. Scrapes on the side of his face. Like this
Did
thing
he beat
was
the crap out of him?
It looked like it. It didn't show the outcome or anything like that, or pictures after, but it looks pretty bad. So yeah, that's a little lesson to be learned. He underestimated the lift time and smacked him right in the face.
All right, what else?
There's also, speaking of dangerous stuff, it's really dangerous to photograph a protest, as one photojournalist named Amanda Mustard documented in a new first-person video.
Mr. Mustard in the library with the hammer.
Clue.
Steven, congratulations.
But a photographer, she did a first-person shooter kind of video, a GoPro mounted on her camera. She documented the recent Egypt protests. Now, this video is about a year old, so it's not really new, but it kind of just got surfaced as far as news websites talking about it, stuff like that. And it's really interesting. It's a dramatic firsthand look at what actually goes on during these protests.
And those are protests. I mean, that's where
this
you could
was
die.
Serious. Yeah, like there's stuff flying around, and she put some of her pictures in there as well. There's also video of protests in Brazil that just surfaced a month or two ago. Yeah, and that's just as bad. I mean, there's beer bottles getting thrown everywhere, fire getting thrown, guns going off. It's all kinds of crazy stuff. And again, it's just kind of cool to see what a photojournalist actually goes through at these kind of events. You can live
all of that, and the rain just stops.
Super quiet.
What was the air conditioning on, and the rain was on, and then it just all stopped?
Everything just stopped at once.
It just got like Truman Show quiet.
It's too quiet now.
It is now way too quiet. The power's still on. Is anybody here?
Oh, God. We'll move on, though. There's a video online that also showcases high-speed photography. This is really cool. It was used back in the mid-'60s, this high-speed photography camera with NASA. It's called the FastAx high-speed camera. It captured up to 18,000 frames per second then, which is insane.
I mean, 18,000 seconds.
18,000 frames per second. This is film.
I mean, how the hell do you even run that through a camera?
How do you have enough on a reel to last a couple minutes?
18,000 frames.
Yeah.
Divide that by 36, and that's a lot of rolls of film.
I can't even imagine. But there's 20 minutes.
Dragon.
There's 20 minutes of just behind the scenes footage of it. They take the camera apart. They showcase the inside of the FastAx, which was the fastest camera at the time, and they also document it in action, all that kind of stuff. There's also rotating prisms inside it that make it actually happen. Do you hear that? Like bells?
Yeah, I heard the bells too.
Okay. I think there's like a ghost in here.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on, Steven, because I heard the bells, but I think it's a combination of the squeaking dump truck.
That's what it sounds like.
You're right. And then the truck is backing up. For anybody that's listening or watching, yeah, we are interrupting ourselves, but there's major construction going on outside my window for the next 5 years, pretty much on I-95 south and north. Yeah, and it makes for parking sucky. But we've been hearing weird noises, but I think that's what
I'm like trying to talk, and I'm like, what the hell is
what
that?
What are those bells?
It's so quiet, and I can hear everything. But yeah, there's like I said, rotating prisms inside that make it actually possible to capture that high speed footage, all that kind of stuff. So it's really cool to check out, and it makes sense for NASA and why they didn't actually switch to digital earlier, because when you have something that's 18,000 frames per second, it took digital a long time to catch up for something like that. If they even did. Well, yeah, they did now, but...
Well, yeah, they've got those hyper cameras.
Yeah, the crazy ones.
Phoenixes.
HP also took The generic crowd surfing blow up ball at concerts to new heights.
Oh,
that was a good lead line, wasn't it? But as far as their Making Memories Last campaign, they mounted high def cameras which took pics and video along with a Wi-Fi antenna that had mounted on it in these giant beach balls and tossed them around in a concert crowd. So basically, those generic giant beach balls, they had cameras. They had a Wi-Fi antenna, so it would shoot the pictures right over the internet and start uploading them.
That's interesting.
They streamed the video live on the massive big screens at the actual show.
That's fun.
The photos were uploaded. They had these little HP booths all around the area, which was cool. So concert goers could actually go see the pictures that were uploaded in real time, and if they found themselves, they could print it out right there at that HP booth. And the images were also uploaded in real time to their HP Facebook page. So it's something kind of cool for just concerts to do. Like, yeah, I'm going to restart it in 1 second. So definitely check that out. There's video of it. There's video of it actually. It's a little queasy, the video, because it's showing the ball in action and all that stuff.
I guess it's kind of interesting, but it needs to be edited. But it's an interesting thing to do. I already reset that camera.
Oh, you did?
I just walked. You didn't see me get up and walk around, Steven?
I wasn't even paying attention.
I walked around you.
I was too busy. You were saying restart the...
Yeah, restart that. I already took care. Why would I walk over to the other camera?
I don't know. I just wasn't even like... I was looking at the paper the whole time.
It's not even running, Steven.
It is.
All right, anyway, go ahead.
Next up, we have a set of, this is awesome. This is my favorite part of the news this week. We have a set of historic black and white images that surfaced online that were colorized, and I guess you could say they were restored. A group of Reddit users under a subreddit called Colorized History.
We didn't do this last week?
We didn't do this. This is a different story from last week. These are different, and they're actually way better.
Really?
Last year was just World War II photos. This is just historic photos in general.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Sorry.
So again, a group of Reddit users under a subreddit called Colorized History. They bring historic photos to life with color, and they just look amazing. They range from the mid 1800s to the early 1900s. 1800s to the early 1900s. They include.
I saw this.
The Hindenburg. Yeah, you showed it to me.
No, that was. Oh, I'm the one who sent it.
You're the one that sent it to me. That's why
they were fantastic.
But they included the Hindenburg, Albert Einstein pictures, Walt Whitman, Mark Twain, Charlie Chaplin, Elizabeth Taylor. All these pictures that were just iconic black and white photos. Now it's crazy to look at because you're like, you almost think it's a different world back then, and then when you see them colorized, you're like, oh, it's just regular people.
What movie, Steven? What movie goes to black and white as well as color? And then the characters start forming color, but some people still stay black and white. Before you answer, people at home, what is the answer? Steven?
Does it start with an S?
No, it starts with a P.
Starts with a P?
Yeah.
I'm getting nothing.
Pleasantville.
Oh, I never saw that.
Oh, Steven, Pleasantville is one of the. It's a fantastic.
I know what you're talking
movie.
about, but I never actually watched it.
Go watch Pleasantville. It is a lot of fun. It is an enjoyable movie. That's Tobey Maguire, right? I'm pretty sure it's Tobey Maguire. Right? Well, yes, that would be the guy from Spider-Man. So it's Tobey Maguire, and it's who's the hot girl?
I never saw it, so I don't know.
I forget. Is that the girl from Election?
I don't know. Election.
She was married to Ryan Felipe, who was one of the hottest guys ever.
Oh, yeah?
Ryan Felipe.
Is that what you think of him?
Photo news.
And also adding on to that historic black and white colorized story, there's also a video tutorial by one of those Redditors and showing how he colorizes one of these old school photos from
see that.
One of the old World Wars. Yeah, so it's really cool. You can learn how to do it, all that stuff. There's a whole set of them online. There's 20 of the best ones, but there's also a bunch more to check out on the Reddit site. And then more news on copyright infringement this week. We have Instagram user Bogdaham. They recently won Samsung's Live in the Moment Instagram contest, which got them an NX300 camera. However, the image she used wasn't his. So this is a pretty big story as far as that goes. God bless you.
Thank you.
The pic he used was an altered version of another user's image that he changed from black and white to basically this colored filter effect. And Samsung later apologized, took down the photo, disqualified him, but there's this whole uproar in the photography community because of that. So what are your thoughts on that kind of stuff?
I'm about to sneeze. Keep going. Give me your thoughts first.
My thoughts are that he shouldn't have done that.
Pineapple. It's not working. You're supposed to say pineapple.
I've never heard to say pineapple before.
I was looking at the light and saying pineapple at the same time. I bet you people have heard this before.
I hate when I lose sneezes.
I know. I'll give my opinion now that I'm not going to sneeze. My opinion is I don't think Samsung did anything wrong. I think that people are like, Samsung should have done a better job of determining whether their photos were real or not. Like, whether we can't do that.
Well, how are you going to how are you going to see
track that stuff back?
Exactly.
You can't go through 1,000 or 2,000 photos or 10,000 photos and go, oh, this person didn't take it. That I just drew on myself.
That's like going through every single Instagram picture ever taken and being like, okay, this person took these, this person took them.
You can do a reverse photo lookup on Google, which is unbelievable. Did you know that? You
No, I did not know
upload
that.
your image to Google, and it will tell you where else it's been posted, so you can find if somebody has stolen it or not.
I got
Reverse
to do
photo
that.
lookup. It's amazing.
I just wonder how many actually entries they got for this.
Well, right. So I would assume they got a couple thousand entries.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't blame them. They took it down. They disqualified the person. They apologized. They did everything that they could do after the fact. And it is what it is. You can't stop somebody in this day and age from posting somebody else's photo.
Do you think they should have given the person that actually took the picture something, or?
Well, they probably should have given them the prize.
I agree. I think that's the only thing they probably should have done that they didn't do. But they
apologized.
personally apologized to them, and yeah. But I mean, then again, the person never even intro or entered the contest or anything like that.
Right,
so.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care about that. I really don't. I just think that Samsung did what they should have done, and you can't control people entering photos that they didn't take.
That's true. It's just too hard to police.
Yeah.
And then final story for this week, we have, this is good for those gearheads that keep everything, which you have a ton of gear in there, so you might want to pay attention to this.
I need some shelves.
We do. eBay has a new feature they're rolling out. It's called My Gadgets. It's pretty cool. Basically lets you list all the gear you have, so when you're ready to sell them, they give you the average prices of what you're trying to sell instead of trying to figure out how much to sell it for, and it pretty much gives you a tab on what it's going for these days. So basically you can track and manage all your gear you've compiled over the years, so it's easy to resell, and also use it as an improved search and tracking function, worth looking into if you have like a ton of old useless gear. And the cool thing is that they automatically add all the gear that you've either already bought or buying onto that list. So in the future, you don't have to go in there and do everything. But so if you just go on there, you enroll in it, and then you can put up all your gear and get it ready to resell. So it's just trying to
they're just trying to give you
they give you
help.
Statistics on like what it's going for, and stuff
So
like
you
that.
can determine if you want to sell it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
just good
not
for
a big deal.
gearheads and all that. Because I got a bunch of crap that I don't use anymore.
Yeah.
That I need to resell. I've
Yeah.
got like old iPods from like the first generation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You should just keep that stuff. You
Yeah.
won't get enough for it,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is that it, Steven?
That's it.
That's
That's it
photo
for this
news for
week's
the
photo
week?
news. Yep.
All right, let me just tell you who it's brought to you by, and you may want to listen to this if you are on the East Coast and within a couple of hours or 8 hours, because I know Pascal's going to drive down to Nikon Allen's-a-Palooza. This is an extravaganza-palooza event at Allen's Camera on September 21st. That is a Saturday. It is free. There's going to be thousands of dollars in prizes, free giveaways, including a Nikon D7100, which somebody will walk away with live at that event, as well as an AW100, a bunch of Black Rapid straps. There's going to be 10% off all used gear.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So that's like, if it's $1,000, you're going to save $100. So if you buy a $3,000 camera, you're saving $300 right there. They're probably, maybe they'll do something with trading in stuff and give some extra bonus money. We'll see. But Nikon's Allen's-a-Palooza is going to be, oh yeah, there's a taco truck. The first 200 people that come in and register, you will be handed a ticket to get 3 tacos. I believe it's 3 tacos, and that's a filling meal. They're good. I've had them. I tested out the taco truck.
Every time I hear that, I just want tacos so bad.
Taco truck?
Every time I leave here, we talk about that.
You want tacos?
Tacos sound delicious right now.
So they're good. So we got the tacos. Oh, I'm going to do a rapid fire Q&A or,
that's pretty
or a
cool.
critique.
I like
so
that.
yeah, I'll sit with everybody, with a person for like 2 minutes. We'll start the clock. You can ask your questions. You can bring your photos. I can critique your photos. At the end of the 2 minutes, the bell rings. The next person comes in. We'll have a lineup for that. We have a tent. So it's a great event to come out and meet other photographers. It's a great event to trade in some gear. It's a great event to buy some used gear or possibly win some of the couple $1,000 worth of prizes. Nikon's Allen's-a-Palooza, September 21st at Allen's Camera. Check out allenscamera.com for the address. Come on out. I mean, I know Pascal's driving from Montreal to make a trip of it. It's a good opportunity to just hang out with other photographers and get some deals if you're looking to get something.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Creative Live called me last week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, to have me come out to Creative Live. They're doing like Photo Week.
Cool.
In September. So they asked me if I would teach a 90-minute class on something, and I'll be teaching on September 18th.
So you are going to do that?
Yeah, I'm going.
Nice.
I get exposed. Like, I like getting exposed to new people that may not know who I am.
Well, I really like their workshops that they have too. I mean, I've learned a bunch of stuff myself on there. I watched their one live wedding they did, which was crazy. Yeah, they did a 5-day, like from the pre-planning to the actual wedding, and then they actually followed the girl around on the wedding. I think it was at Jasmine Star.
Oh,
yeah.
Don't get me started on that stuff.
It was just cool the fact that they actually did that, and they did a live wedding.
Sure.
Someone's actually wedding. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that if that was my wedding.
No, I'm going to set up. I'm going to make my own video guide that's similar to that, but not at
But that's
an
going to be a
actual
stage.
wedding.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but following around, that's cool, but if I'm shooting if I'm shooting a wedding, I don't want to have to play up to the camera.
Oh no.
And that's what I do is I play up to the camera.
That's what she was doing
I want to pay attention to the wedding.
Exactly.
She probably is like, we'll do it for free. I'm Jasmine Starr. And her husband, Mark Consuelos. And I don't know who her husband is, but he's a photographer who does photos as well. Second shoots. I'm currently doing Creative Live until they listen to this episode and decide to tell me that no, I won't be doing Creative Live because I just ripped on some other people.
What's it going to be about yours?
Well, see, that's
just going to be kind of whatever.
No, I had to come up with something. Well, what can I do in 90 minutes? Normally they're 3 days. I'm going to hammer home the basics of photography for people that are out there. The exposure triangle and how to get the proper exposure in 3 shots or less. That's what I'm going to hammer home. Cool. I'm going to demonstrate how shutter speed works, demonstrate how aperture works, demonstrate how ISO works. It's the basics in 90 minutes. And for me, it's to promote the video guide.
Definitely, yeah.
You know, let people know that if you like this information, check out the FroKnowsPhoto Beginner Guide to Getting Out of Auto. That's what it is. I mean, you use these opportunities and they get my readers, I get their readers, and that's how it works.
Where's that take place at?
It's in Seattle.
Oh, okay.
So I'm flying to Seattle.
That'll be a nice gloomy day.
No, this is the best time of year to be up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not rainy, as rainy this time of year.
Interesting.
Yeah. Steven?
Yes.
It's now time for me to move on.
Now time to
before we move on, let's talk about the gear for today.
Oh, yes.
Because we've been doing this for the last 2 weeks. We've put something different on the table. Last week was the Samsung was the Sigma 18 to 35 lens. The week before that, we had the Zoom H6, which we have a review coming up on.
Really cool review, too.
Yep. And so now we've got a Heliopan variable neutral density filter from, what's that? Why do they say (3)?
I don't know.
I don't know why they say that.
Is that a brand?
But it's a 9-stop Heliopan slim. It's like a $400 filter that I bought at Alan's camera.
Yeah.
But why did we buy this, Steven?
Basically, when you're doing video outside in the bright-ass sunny day, sunlight, you want something that you want basically a very shallow depth of field, just like you would have in normal daylight or normal gloomy day kind of light. Now, you wouldn't be able to do that with what you should be shooting at with a DSLR. Say you're shooting at 1/50th of a second, which should be your shutter speed when you're doing DSLR video, especially at 24 frames per second. If you're doing 30 frames, you should be doing 60th of a second. So the reason that we're doing that to keep that down, if we were at 1/50th, you're letting so much light in, you need to be at like...
Can I do it, Steven?
What?
Because you're taking way too long.
Okay, you can do it.
For my liking.
Go ahead.
Because
I'm trying to explain every little technical
you're explaining
aspect.
it way too technical. This is what happens. If I was to go out into a bright-ass day, I would be shooting at, say, f/22 at 100 ISO at, say, a 50th of, or maybe like a 1,000th of a second. Because that's just how bright it is and we need to make it work. We've done it where we shot outside at a 50th of a second, but it was f/22.
Exactly.
There's no leeway there because you're already at your lowest ISO. So you throw on one of these...
And you want to try and keep on that 1/50th of a second.
Right, but you don't want to shoot at 22 because everything's going to be in focus.
Yeah.
So when you get an ND filter that's variable, you can make it a little darker, but then we can get the aperture down to 4.5 at a 50th of a second at, say,
nice
100 ISO.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just basically cutting back on the amount of light that's coming into the camera, allowing you to get that shallower depth of field and getting you what you need. It's fantastic. And you can use it for stills. You can use it for landscapes. The same thing. When you want that shallow depth of field on a bright-ass day and you don't want to shoot at f/22, this is what you get, is a variable neutral density filter.
And stills, it doesn't matter too much because you can just bump up that shutter speed. But since you want to keep that shutter speed low on video, that's why that works mainly for video. It's great.
Right. So that's it. It's Alan's has these Heliopan. It's a $400 filter that we bought, but...
And apparently he said that's a really good brand,
This
too,
was
I
the
believe,
best,
right?
like one of the best that you get is the Heliopan. It's a
stuff.
slim, it's meant for digital. It's just a really good filter.
That was one of the first thing I think I recommended when I got here, right?
Yeah.
So we need an ND filter ASAP.
And I ordered it and we got it in.
Cool. Yeah, and if you guys check out that rooftop video where we're doing the reflector video, we didn't use a ND filter, and you'll see what we're talking about as far as a very deep depth of field goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Steven. Back to the Zoom H6 he goes.
All right.
Because this week we are using the Zoom H6. We've gotten rid of the other board. Is it recording, Steven?
Yep.
Is it still working?
Yep.
Oh, good. Goody, because we don't want to mess these things up. I mean, it could happen.
Well, I just hope the battery doesn't die because it looks like it's already on a third of a battery left.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
Well, if it dies, let me know. We'll just start over.
Yeah, we'll just stop.
We'll just stop.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me to go pick up some lithiums.
Yeah, well, I have a bunch in my bag, so I'll just grab them. But
Lithiums?
I did in that list. Yeah, I have lithiums in that list. I wrote down, so we got to get some extra stuff.
All right, yeah, we got to get some lithiums because you're supposed to get 6 hours or more out of it.
Yep,
we haven't done that anyway.
Not at all.
Let's get to the flying solo portion. It's brought to you by nobody.
Brought to you by myself.
Brought to you by Mr. Meowgi's Cat Emporium. And hopefully my roof isn't leaking.
Yes.
Richard Spreggins just moved into college, and they don't normally hire freshmen to be on their paid photography staff. Should I send in stuff to make an early name or just wait it out? It will include lots of travel with no pay, so I guess would it be worth it? Abso-positively freaking lootly. Yes. I don't care if you're a freshman and they don't accept you yet. Go there. Go into the office and say, I will do whatever it takes. If I need to assist and carry the gear on the plane, if I need to go down to the sidelines of the football game and hold the big-ass glass and hand it to you when you're ready to take the pictures, get in now. Don't wait around. This is the ultimate opportunity to get your foot into the door and start to get traveling with the college teams or just to get to know everybody. And who cares about getting paid in college? Seriously, I know you're paying to go there and all that good stuff. Is that cool, Steven?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're paying to go, but there are people that we interviewed. I talked to a kid on Skype a long time ago who was the guy who was in charge of doing the photo editor of his college paper, and he did a fantastic job, and he started to get paid, so it's well worth it. Don't just submit your stuff. Submit it and show up at their door. Definitely do that. All right. Kelly McNeil. What are the top 5 accessories anyone starting out in photography should purchase right away? In quotes, I just bought my first ... a tripod. And then my recommendation still comes down to lenses. I think lenses are the first things you should consider investing in. I'm not a big fan of saying invest in filters. I'm talking about UV filters. If it comes down to an ND filter, that's something different, but that's really not something you're going to pick up right off the bat. Things to pick up right off the bat, maybe the Fro Black Rapid strap to plug myself there, but seriously, a strap will come in handy. You'll see how much that helps you. But a good camera bag that is going to last you a while and allow you to grow into it. A lot of people purchase bags that just fit what they purchased. That's not the best thing to do because you're going to outgrow it in a year or less. So a good recommendation is whatever you buy, invest the right amount of money. Buy something good so that it's going to last for you when you grow as a photographer. But I think a strap's important, a bag is important. If you're not a tripod I didn't have a tripod for my first 8 years of shooting.
Yeah.
I just didn't have a tripod because I didn't shoot that type of work that required it. But nowadays, shooting video and shooting stills, landscapes and architecture, a tripod could come in handy, but invest in something good. But glass. Next one. Rudy Rodriguez Jr. Hi, Jared. I love watching RAWtalk! ! I think it's the best thing on any media about photography. Question. Do you guys actually play poker on your poker table? Count me in. I have played poker on this table. Not very often. I really need to get a game together. We can get 8 people around this bad boy. We've got another one laying over there on the floor. That's a 10-person one. That's a fold-up one, which I'm going to give away to somebody because I don't really want it. Did you know that, Steven?
I did not know that.
It just takes up too much room. Does your frat house want it?
My frat house? I don't think we have room in my frat house.
Yeah, you're not even. I'm going to offer it to somebody in the building because it's huge. It weighs over.
I probably wouldn't use it anyway.
It's a 250-pound table. It's a good fold-up one, but I really don't want it just sitting here for no reason.
If people watch the hour-long that one episode.
The FroKnowsPhoto, if you watch the game show portion, that's the table.
We use that table for it.
Paul Dumm, D-U-M-M. Jared, do you think that digital is making people better at taking photos as they can see and fix their settings right away, or lazy as you can always fix it in Photoshop later? Well, if your mentality is to fix it in Photoshop later, that's just a bad mentality. That's like if you shot film saying, I'll just fix it later in the darkroom. You don't really want to get into that mentality. I don't think it's mixed. Certain photographers get a leg up because they're learning digital and they know how to manipulate certain things and they can see the results right as they take them. Obviously, photography made things easier for new people coming to the game. They can take pictures and can review them right away to see what they're doing wrong and how to make corrections. That's something we couldn't do with film. But if you have the mentality of fixing it later, then it doesn't really matter if you're shooting film or digital. Casey Spidell. Is there a genre or type of photography that you haven't done yet that you'd like to try? War, boudoir, etc. Earmuffs, everybody. If there are little children watching this show, please cover their ears or mute this for the next 35 seconds. I still want to do artistic nudes. Actually, they can hear this. This isn't bad. I just think it's cool. It's like you got the breasts and you want to put some interesting light on them, Steven. And you want to make it look like they're mountains, except using like low angles, and you don't want it to look like it's not straight up porn photography. It's like artistic nudes.
Yeah, I was just watching, or I was not watching.
Yeah, what were you watching, Steven?
I was checking out these pictures that this guy did, and they were like just naked women, but you couldn't even tell that it was a person. It was like, it looked like several people's backs put together, and it looked like Rocky Mountains or something like that. It was crazy. It looked really artistic, and like I said, I didn't even know it was people at first.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
See, that's what I would do. Earmuffs off.
Earmuffs off.
Simon Osbaldistan. Simon Osbaldistan. Osbaldeston. I have a question. Good. Every established photographer has his or her style for which they are recognized, such as your own boomified, vibrant, and contrasty style. But how far are you willing to bend that style to meet modern trends or a client's wishes? So that's a good question.
That is, yeah.
I don't personally buy into the modern quote-unquote trends. That's like buying into popcorn ceilings, right, Steven?
I guess.
Do you even know what a popcorn ceiling is?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Right. Do people put popcorn on their ceilings anymore?
I don't think so.
No, that went out in that was big from like 87 to 94, maybe 5 at the latest. But popcorn so Steven, in my first house, we had popcorn ceilings put in the 80s, and I got to choose. I had white popcorn ceilings because I think they really only came in white.
I was gonna say white. I thought was the only color,
but I got it with red sparkles.
Ooh!
So it was like red glitter in it. So that was what was up on the ceiling.
So did you want to eat it or something?
Well, I used to try to pick at it, but that would get me in trouble.
Yeah.
So personally, I don't buy into trends myself to go and do, other people are doing this, I should jump on the bandwagon. But when it comes to what a client wants, if they are the people paying the bills, then I will do what they would like, because sometimes you have to make those decisions. Like, if they want to crop my work, am I going to say, no, you can't crop my work to put that in that magazine that you're paying me $5,000 for the photo for? You have to eat your pride at times to get the things done, to do what the client needs.
Yeah, I would say for like the wedding client I had recently, they liked more of the softer look wedding pictures. So like, less clarity, very, very soft, kind of a glowing effect. And I ended up
clarity. That's bullshit. That's called out of focus. That's like putting Vaseline on the front of your lens.
It's just saying that mid contrast isn't as punchy as most pictures. So what I ended up doing is just kind of lowering the contrast and doing a lot of stuff I wouldn't normally do as far as processing my photos, but to make them happy, I ended up doing that just for that specific set.
Right, and that's fine because you do it, and then you get paid, and you're like, I don't really give a crap what happens later as long as they're happy. Ian Middleton Duff. Hi, Jared. Hi, Steven. You both have taken a lot of the best of the best, all bases covered shot. Basically what he's asking is, you have 5 frames to fill in your house with your 5 best photos that you think you've ever taken. What are 5 photos that you've taken that you would put up there, if you can even think of any on the top of your head?
Man, that's a hard. That's like asking what your favorite band is. You know what I mean? Like, it's
right. It's very hard. If I had to pick 5,
who your favorite kid is.
I'd probably do one of Perry Farrell smoking a joint. It's a vertical. I would probably do the Matis Yahoo photo that was the tour poster that I took. I'm sure there's some behind the scenes stuff that I would also like to take, but nothing really pops into mind right now because it's very hard to pick 5 images to do something with.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I can't even think of like one that's like the end all be all that I would choose.
Right.
That's a tough choice.
Okay, next question. Maddie Wookie Simpson. Would you say you need any qualifications in photography to be taken seriously, or would you just let your work speak for itself and hope the people looking to hire you don't want qualifications? Well, first off, What are you looking at, Steven?
I'm looking at you.
Don't look at me.
You said first off a lot of times.
I know. I said first off 3 times. Look, if somebody is going to like your work, to me, that is all that matters. Are you qualified? Did they just pick your work out of a lineup and go, we love this guy's work? Oh, by the way, what are your qualifications? Screw that. They don't care. It shouldn't matter. Qualifications are meaningless. If you can capture the moment and get the pictures that a client wants, nobody's going to sit there and go, where'd you go to school? Oh, you didn't go to college? I can't have you do my photos. Let me go pick the next guy on the list who has worse work than you. Right?
Right.
Thanks, Steven. Mason Unrau, UNRAU. How do you keep focused in such a fast-paced industry that is constantly changing for better or worse? Keep up the great work. Well, the industry is always changing. You just try to read a lot. I find myself on tech sites all the time trying to find what trends are next and try to stay on top of things. What gear's coming out? Should I learn the Litro? I have the Litro, but it just sits on my desk because what the hell am I going to shoot with the Litro?
Good point.
Seriously, there's now an app for that thing, but who cares at this point?
What's the app for?
Wirelessly transferring from the GoPro, from the what's it called, Litro to the iPhone, so that you can. They basically have their own Instagram feed.
Oh, okay.
It's cool and all because people can interact with it, but it's just like there's not enough of them out there. They're still too expensive. Litro. Can you do the depth of field refocusing in the app? Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I would use it for, but
exactly.
Yeah.
Stephanie Ferranti. When can you call yourself a professional photographer, Steven?
That's a good question.
Nah, I don't think it's a great question.
Yeah.
No, because do you need to be classified as something? Do you really need to be like, you're a professional if you feel like you're a professional. If that's what you do, if that is your thing, you are a photographer. Whether you're professional or not, who really cares? I mean, it's just a term. It's like on one of my early business cards, I put professional photographer because I was like 15, and I thought that would make me seem more professional to say that I'm a professional. Sure, in some things you could be like, yes, I'm a professional at this. And then in other things, it's like it doesn't really matter. And in this case, you're a professional when you feel you are a professional. If you're getting paid, if people like what you're doing, then you can consider yourself a professional. But you could be a professional and a starving artist at the same time. Isaac Escobar. If you can't afford to go to photography school, but you want to become turning the page, a professional, what's the best thing to do?
FroKnowsPhoto.com.
Well, no, call yourself a professional. Look, go take pictures. You don't need a degree to tell you that you are a professional photographer. You need to just be a good photographer who can go out there and make the ways in the world. Making my way in the world today takes everything you got. Na 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 na. Sure could help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Oh, should I do it like the Broadway style? Wouldn't you like to get away? Because they always enunciate and they like project. Wouldn't you like to get away? How are my levels, Steven?
They're good.
Good, because I backed away from the mic.
You did good.
I wanted to do the very, do you know what show that is?
Is that Cheers? No, that's not Cheers.
Of course it's Cheers,
Is it
Steven.
Cheers?
Jesus, Steven. Go back to my Netflix. Do you know what was interesting about Cheers, Steven?
What's interesting?
They're like 40 episode seasons. Or 28 episodes or 30. They have so many episodes per season that it's not even funny. Go back on Netflix because they have every Wonder Years. They have every Quantum Leap.
Every Wonder Years?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they have all of the, they probably have Corky Thatcher, Life Goes On. And then they have all the Cheers. You can sit there and you can watch them.
Very nice.
From day one. It's my dad's favorite episode of Cheers. My dad and mom's favorite episode of Cheers is the Thanksgiving food fight one. I don't remember seeing it, but they loved it. So I have to go find that one to watch it.
I don't know. My parents always had it on, and I just never watched it, really. I mean, I watched it a couple of times, but...
What's the theme song, Steven, to the Wonder Years?
I forget.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you lay down and walk over me? Lend me your ears, cause I sing you a song, and I'll try not to sing. I don't laugh a little help of your friends. All you need is to have a little help from your friend. Winnie Cooper.
Is that the hardcore version?
Well, that's the Joe Cocker version, man. I'm all red, and you ever watch him on, I'm sorry, Ben, I don't mean to yell while you're working downstairs.
He's definitely so pissed off right now.
He's not upset. Ben, you're not upset, are you? That's my new neighbor.
I wish he was like, no.
No, I'm not upset. He's better. He's so much better than my old neighbor.
Oh, I know, right?
I don't hear a peep from him. He doesn't complain. Hey, how's battery power, Steven?
I think we're good. I mean, it's still on the same one notch.
Yeah,
so.
that's Joe Cocker. Have you ever watched Woodstock?
I've watched it, yeah, but
the DVD?
Yeah.
I have the Blu-ray.
Ooh.
Do you know who was one of the film people involved in that?
No, I don't know the name.
Martin Scorsese.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry, Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, I don't know how to. Everyone always pronounces it different.
Scorsese.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Because Joe Cocker in that show, he's like this. He's like, what would you do? All right,
let's move on.
Terry and Crystal Kofia. I'm having trouble trying to print my photos. You either get your image cropped or have a large border on top and bottom to get the whole image in. What's the best size to print in? 8x10s are way too cropped by Adorama and Shutterfly. Is it because the way the camera saves an image? I know other people must be wondering also. Thanks, Fro. So yeah, anybody who's never printed a lot before, who's new, your image sensor is not the shape of an 8x10 aspect ratio. It's 2x3. It's a 2:3 aspect ratio. That means 4x6, 8x12, 16x24, 24x36. Those are full frame prints. So if you are looking to print a full frame on an 8x10, you have to leave a border. That's just what you have to do. Or just stick to full frame size prints. And an 8x12 is that. Specify that you wanted 8x12, but good luck trying to find a frame for that.
Yep.
8x12 frames are very hard to come by. They do exist. Steven, how are we doing on time over there?
We're good. We're about 15 minutes in.
No, to this clock.
No, I know. We got 5 minutes left on that camera.
All right, because I'm very worried about that going out.
You're fine.
All right, so really you just have to, this is the way it is.
It's
That's
funny.
the way we move, Steven. This is the way we move.
It was his birthday yesterday or the day before.
What was that?
I think it was his birthday like a couple days ago.
He's coming on September 25th. To Union Transfer.
Nice.
Well, I actually heard it advertised on your station.
Oh, very nice.
So really just, and I did call them about spending time on the road with them. They're going to get back to me about that.
Oh, cool. It's funny that they brought this question up because just, I think like 2 days ago, the client I had that I just took newborn photos for, she was trying to print out pictures from like Shutterfly or some terrible site. And basically she was saying that, you know, she wanted to print an 8x10. She wanted to print all these regular pictures, but she was like, why can I not print normal pictures and I have to print these weird sizes? And I'm trying to explain to her, like, they're actually the correct sizes.
Right.
The 8x10 is the weird size. And I was explaining that, you know, it's a 3x2 ratio and all that stuff. But yeah, normal people, they just don't get it when you try to explain about cropping and all that stuff with prints. So I don't understand why 8x12 is not a standard print size.
I've asked this before. Somebody has explained to me the whole 8x10 thing. Maybe it was just the size of the prints they made. I don't remember. I think it was some Kodak film that Kodak did, and Kodak would print 8x10s, and that's why it was the standard.
Yeah, I don't know, but I just remember when I worked in the photo lab, every other day someone's like, what's wrong with your photo lab? It keeps cropping my print. And I'm like, no.
I just want this 5x7.
Yeah.
I want everything in it, but on this 5x7, it's cropping everything out.
Yeah, exactly. Every single day.
Dustin Gwynn. Hey, Fro and Steven. You're getting a lot of mentions these days, Steven.
Nice.
Can you each share with us your most embarrassing moment as a photographer, as well as the moment you are most proud of? Maybe even the one photo you are proudest of. Thanks.
Again, these questions on the spot are really tough to answer.
I don't have any. I mean, embarrassing. I mean, nothing embarrassing per se that anybody else would have known. But when I started shooting photos with my Canon EOS, my EOS Elan, and I went to the Philadelphia Flyers practice that they had at the First Union Center. It was called the Core State Center back in the day when it first opened. My dad took me there. I was sitting in the aisle taking pictures. I took actually it wasn't the Flyers practicing. It was the team. It was Team USA was practicing for like the World Hockey Games or something. And I took like 20, 30 pictures, only to realize that I never loaded the film. I just got so excited. But that is a learning experience. You do that once and you never do it again.
I actually have something similar to that, but this was actually not that long. Well, 4 years ago, the president of our company for the radio station, who wanted a picture with his favorite band, which was Social Distortion. They stopped by the radio station. He was the only one to get a picture with them, and I took the picture and by accident deleted it and had to tell him that like the next day.
He said that's okay?
Then he was like, "Oh, I thought you were a professional," and blah, blah, blah. Dude, I felt like... I'm like, yeah.
This shit happens.
I might have told him it was corrupted and that wasn't my fault.
Oh, you lie and now it comes out. Is he still working there?
No, he's not our president anymore.
Corey Burleson, love it when you two bust out in song. Can you sing some country music? I can sing some country music.
Oh, God.
All I need is a dog, a truck, and some beer.
By the way, you reset that camera, right?
Yeah, I reset that camera correct.
That is all you need. They're the three ingredients to a classic country song.
Excuse me as I sing this country hit.
I probably won't know it.
Jared Polin. I got a dog, and my girlfriend tried to take him, but I slapped her in the face and drank some beer in my Ford pickup truck. We broke up a little bit after that because she tried to take my dog. My dog, my dog. And then I said, woman, don't make me slap you because I want to be a cowboy. Cowboy. Some BVs from Steven. So I took my truck, I took my dog, I took my beer, and I took my wife. But she was in the back of the truck because we're driving out to the desert where I'm going to bury her in the ground. Yeehaw. Yeehaw. And that is the extent of a country song. All you need is...
so stereotypical.
It's all about women and breaking up and love and trucks and beer.
What's that one song that like is now considered like a top 40 song? That roll my windows down. That one? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, Steven.
How do you not know it?
I don't frequent country. And
yeah,
anybody
but this is
out
like
there,
a pop country song.
I understand that country music is the biggest genre of music in the world.
But not in Philadelphia.
Well, not in my house. It's just my opinion again. I do not like country music.
This is my opinion as well.
But it is the largest the music in the world.
It is, yeah.
Gonna pack my bags and drive real slow.
And crack open a burr.
Gonna get a beer and get a hoe.
We're gonna lose a lot of country listeners right now.
Gonna get that hoe and my dog to intermix.
It's funny because all of my relatives now used to despise country and they're all on that bandwagon and they all are obsessed with it. So every time we go on like a family vacation or something, that's all that's blasting. And I can't stand. I work in an alternative rock radio station. Obviously, that's my song, my music choice.
I can't even think of a country pop song right now to sing.
That's that one I'm talking about. It's like the roll my windows down. I don't know how it goes, but I
don't know that song.
It's
Steven.
This ridiculous, dude. The lyrics are just so bad, but people love it.
I'm trying to think of something, a country song that I could sing.
I don't know.
Like, what's her name?
Is Taylor Swift considered country anymore?
Taylor Swift used to be country. She's not country any longer. I know that Hootie went country. Darius Rucker.
Aaron Lewis went country.
Well, Aaron Lewis went country. Sheryl Crow went country.
I'm sure Cassidy Pope went country, the girl from The Voice.
But I never heard of
She's being a little pop punk band.
Whatever, The Voice. Avril Lavigne was supposed to be a country star.
Yep.
Thank God she wasn't.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on for this because I don't know some country music. Leave some country songs that I should look up, guys, and I will sing them next week.
And tell me what song that I'm trying to sing.
How's it go, Steven?
That one too. Roll my windows down.
All right, Jason Snow. What do you think about the new Nokia phone it's 41 megapixels, right?
Ridiculous. Yeah, 41.
And is advertised as a camera first. First off, the only thing I need to say is I played with it the other day.
Oh, you did?
The one guy had it up at Canon, one of the reporters. It's built off of a Windows 8 phone. So there, it doesn't even matter.
Well, that's coming from a Mac guy.
No, Steven, a Windows 8 phone.
I know.
The Windows 8 phone.
I know.
It goes like Android and iOS down to like BlackBerry, down to freaking like Fisher-Price phone, and then it goes down to Windows Phone. I guess Windows won't be sponsoring anytime soon with Windows phones.
Well, I'm tempted to see what Apple fires back at because they're supposed to be announcing that 5S coming out September.
Well, the 5S and then that 5C, which could stand for the 5 cheap.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that would blow that market wide open. If they come out with a $99 or a $129 or whatever it is option, that's going to really be a game changer.
Yep. That mean they already own the market, I feel like.
They do. I mean, a lot of people are saying that Samsung and Android and all that have fought back, but
they are definitely catching up, I will say that.
Well, they have, but we'll see what happens.
This is also coming from 2 iPhone users, so.
Sean Tanner.
Little bias.
Did Marty McFly ever really get back to the future? Did he end up back in the correct 1985? Yes. In my opinion, he did not end up in alternate 1986. Was it 1986? Was that alternate?
I don't know. It was funny because I was just watching it last night, too.
Well, thank God you actually watched a good movie. But
I love Back to the Future.
Well, I love Back to the Future also, but he did get back. See, what happened is Marty went back to 1885, and he and Doc Brown were rescuing, what was the name? Clayton Ravine, right? She didn't die, so it wasn't Clayton Ravine. So they built a time machine out of the choo-choo train.
Yep.
And they get back, and then the train gets destroyed. But that was the correct 1985, unless Michael Zemeckis had something else in mind for a next Back to the Future installment. In this case,
it's a little too late now.
Michael J. Fox would have to go find the cure, which would be interesting. I just hope that they don't, and I mean that in a good way. We donated like $4,000 to the Michael J. Fox Foundation.
Yeah.
I believe when we sold the Back to the Future shirts.
He's coming out with that show now, too.
Yeah, he's got a new show. I mean, he's just showing that you can still live with
his disease,
what the disease is.
And I guess he's comfortable with making fun of it too.
Well, I mean,
in a funny
comedic way.
Yeah.
But what's good about it is it brings awareness to it, and the awareness turns into people, a cure. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I hope they don't remake that movie.
I don't think they will.
They could re-release that movie. I don't know if kids would enjoy it, but we're really close to the 1980 cafe, the 80s cafe.
Yes.
Matthew Carbo, how do you protect your gear in harsh environments like rain when you've agreed weeks in advance to shoot a paid gig? You need to be prepared. Just like when Steven and I shot the Made in America Fest last year and it poured.
Oh, yeah.
I had on the Think Tank Hydrophobia and I really couldn't see the screen because it was fogging up inside on that. It's not plastic, it's some kind of other material, which they'll send me the defogger for it. But that's what you need to do. I'm more worried about my hair when I'm out shooting in the rain than I'm worried about the gear.
What did you bring? Didn't you bring?
I had my shower cap on, but it was pouring. But
I had a trash can for a trash bag for, what was I wearing? A poncho.
Right. So you need to prepare. You need to get your good camera bags from Low Pro and Think Tank and Tamrac. Most of the bag companies come with a rain cover. You want to have that rain cover on. You want to have as little gear as possible for being out there to do your shoots and stuff. But you just got to be prepared. If you know you're going to do a shoot and it's going to be pouring, you need to have the proper stuff there to make it happen. Shelly Seward.
Before you move on real quick, I actually just bought a cheap alternative to those, all the Aquatech and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I brought these drawstring ones.
Alan sells them.
They're literally just like plastic bags, but formed for your camera. They're $5 or something like that.
Yeah, and they're like one-time use, and they come with two.
One-time use, and I use them more than once, but they're great. It's really
good
cheap
to have in the bag.
Yeah, and it's never really raining for me when I'm doing an outside shoot, so it's just good to have all the time. And
yep.
Yeah.
Shelly Seward, when taking pictures outside on a sunny, cloudy day, would it be better to put the camera in aperture mode instead of having to constantly adjust the settings? This would be for stationary objects people. No, I'd stay in manual because why? If the light's changing, you just know how to make the changes when you are standing there. If the light, hold on, excuse me. If the light, if a cloud comes, you know that you need to slow the shutter speed down. If the cloud moves, you speed your shutter speed back up. Anything beyond that, you change your ISO and aperture. But really, you can control that. You don't really need to worry about the camera doing it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Tyler Fawcett. Hey, Jared and Steven, have either of you ever been too ill to go to a paying gig? If so, how did you handle it? Thanks for everything. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Knock on wood here. I haven't been knocking on wood here, over the top, going to knock on more wood, knock on my forehead a couple times. I haven't encountered this situation where I've been too sick to go do a job. I've been sick on jobs, stuff like that, but I've still been able to accomplish it. If you ever are too ill, you need to always have a backup plan for somebody else that can go and accomplish it, or you have to make it happen.
Yeah, I'm the same way, and I usually just push my body if I am that sick, so...
Yeah, you drink like 12 emergencies on your way there.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you hope that you can get through the shoot, but it really sucks. When I went, if you feel really bad, it does take away, but you need to get the job done.
Yep.
William Landry, you or someone who is offering information very similar. You are someone who is offering information very similar to hundreds of other outlets online, yet you're more successful. What do you attribute to your success? What motivates you to keep on driving forward with your business? And who or what was or is your inspiration for what you built? I've talked about the inspiration. I know that, I talked about my mom and not helping her be a photographer, a better photographer back in the day. And because I didn't get that opportunity to teach her, I'm teaching everybody else. That's part of it. How did I stand out? I had this discussion with the DP review guys. They brought it up. They brought up like it is a noisy world out there, and there are a lot of people who are doing photography blogs and giving their opinions. I stand out because I have a stance. One, I think because I do quality work. I'm a photographer first. I take pictures. I take what I think are quality images. I have a background to prove it. And you can see the work speaks for itself. I think first and foremost, if your work doesn't speak for yourself, then nobody's going to listen to you out there. There are photographers who do this blogging stuff that their work is just terrible, and you can see that it's terrible, yet they're spewing information out there, and you just want to slap them and say your work is horrible. That is what it is. But one of the reasons I stand out is just that. I'm not afraid to say it the way it is. I'm not afraid to give you my opinion. I'm not afraid to either stand for something or not stand for something. That's it. I stand out. And if you can stand out in the crowd any way possible, then you can have a better chance of winning, right?
Touché.
What do you attribute your success? What motivates you? What keeps you going? What keeps me going is building and creating. I love creating. I like getting pushed to the limits of creativity and trying to see what I could do next. Everything to me is a game. And I know women don't like that when you say that. Like it's a game. It's not a game. You're not trying to sleep with every girl out there, right, Steven?
Right.
You're not. But it's still like a game. You still want to try to earmuffs. You still want to be successful in the bedroom on pleasing and getting it to that next level of the raw file to the explosion of that other person. You want to take care of other people's needs. It's like a game. It's like winning the game, right?
I have no idea what you just said.
Steven, so your girlfriend's laying there.
I'm kidding.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's fun. You're like winning. It's like win. You're like, awesome, I won the game. Okay, you can take your earmuffs off. I did it politically correct. All right. Tom Kise, K-I-S-E, when exposing for a subject in the shade with a very bright background, do you expose for the background or for the subject? All right, I'll take that one honestly here. If you were to expose for the background, which was extremely bright, and the person was in the shade, you'd end up with a silhouette. You want to try to expose for the person, but the background is going to blow out. If you have the chance to pop a flash in there and balance it with the background and the ambient light, that is how you're going to be able to balance the background and the foreground in the shade area to get a good shot. Nicholas Vanderwall, what is your opinion on the Lomography Pretzel lens? Would you recommend this lens, or would it be better off buying a 35 or a 50 millimeter lens? Any other recommendations, other lenses? Thank you. First off, my opinion when it comes to glass is you don't buy specialty lenses first.
Yes.
You only buy specialty lenses if you, in my opinion, already own the mainstays, the lenses that you use 90% of the time.
The Holy Trinity.
Well, the Hebrew Trinity,
or
the Three Amigos, the Spanish Armada, the whatever you want to call it. But in my opinion, I want that. If I had to take two lenses, 24 to 70, 70 to 200, maybe even the 14 to 24 over the 24 to 70, but probably not, because the 24 to 70 is extremely versatile. You don't pick up these specialty lenses until you have the other stuff in the bag that pays the bills.
Yes, agreed.
Will Helterbrand, you have never answered any of my questions. Okay, so that's why I'm actually doing this here. So I'll try one last time. I don't want to lose you, Will. I don't want to lose you. Do you shoot any macro? I do. If so, what do you use? I use a 105 macro. Steven uses a 100 millimeter macro, correct?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic lens from Canon.
Actually, I just, for our H6 review coming out, we did a lot of video with the 100 macro, a lot of product shots with it, and it looks great.
So those are the first questions we answer. Yes, I do macro on occasion, but the last part of it is, what is the best way to go about making money from macro shots? I can't tell you that. That is just something that I cannot tell you.
Yeah, I mean, there's unlimited options.
You could take macro shots of clothing, of rings, of toys, of things. You could do stock photography. You could just, how are we doing on the camera over here?
We're good. We got a couple more minutes.
How much time are we into this thing?
We're hour 5.
All right, because we're almost done. I have 2 questions
Cool.
left. Really,
stock photography probably be the
stock
one
photography.
thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
That's
it's not. You're not going to make a ton of money.
No, it's hard to get into.
Right. If your thing is doing macro and you find a niche and you exploit the niche, fill a need, see a need, fill a need. Steven, what movie?
I don't know.
It's animated.
I don't know.
Fill a need, see a need, fill a need.
What is it?
Robots.
I've never seen that.
It's a good movie.
I should check it out.
You should. It's a good animated movie. Robin Williams is in it too.
Oh, okay.
It's robots, but it's animated. I really can't tell you how to make money at macro shots. I just can't. Jesus. Esquis Faris de Souza. Hi, Jared. I'd like to know how the See the World keychains works and how did it help or helps you on composing images? I have it from the Fro store, but I can't find a proper way to use it. Does it simulate? Okay, so how you use the See the World keychain it's simple. It's meant to just hold it up to whatever you're doing. You move it in to zoom. You pull it back to your eye to go wider. You turn it vertical. You turn it horizontal. You frame the world through this thing. Basically, it represents what you're looking at through a camera, whether it's a 35 millimeter full frame or it's a crop sensor. It's the same type of thing that you're going to go for. You move it in, you move it out. You compose the world as if you were taking a picture. That's really what it's for. Derek J. Kenmure. That's Kenmuir. If I am focusing strictly on portraiture in parentheses photography, what Canon lens would you recommend for a beginner? One lens to rule them all, Steven, on the Canon side for just portraits.
Just portraits. I mean, I'm going to have to tell you 24-70.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not?
For portraits?
Why not?
Because
I'm just saying, if I had to use one lens for...
Just for portraits.
Well, if I had to use, I don't know, I would prefer the 85-1 too, but...
That's true. I mean, I guess you could see the 24-70.
I would do the 24-70 depending on where I'm shooting at and
how
much room I have.
Yeah, I got it. But if you're, say, well, I'll even pare this down more. We'll say headshots.
Headshots would be the 85-1.2.
So you got 85-1.2. You have 100 millimeter 2.8,
or the 200 2,
or the f2. 200 f2. But there's a 135 f2. Ooh,
that would be pretty nice.
The 135 f2 could be the portrait lens for headshots.
Yes,
that is what I could see.
But
Steven.
It depends too. Are we shooting on a crop body? Are we shooting full frame?
That's true. Crop body. I'm going to go with. Well, he says for a beginner. So if I'm just going to go ahead and say a crop body. I'd go ahead and say like an 85-1.2, 85-1.4, 85-1.8. That could be a good portrait because that's your 100 and some millimeter lens right there. So, Steven, we've reached the end of this RAWtalk episode 49. I went to the dark side, ... just for a quick visit. Don't forget about Nikon Allensapalooza, September 21st. I want to see you guys hashtag this. If you got to the end of this, let's see hashtag Allensapalooza. That is ALLENS-A-Palooza. Palooza. That's how I spell it.
Wait, can you do hashtags with hyphens?
Yeah, because it's all one word.
Okay.
It's all connected.
I'm thinking of Twitter. Doesn't it not work? If
you could still hashtag it because it starts with a hashtag. You're just not putting spaces after it.
Oh, okay.
You're doing hyphens.
I thought that it didn't work, but
anyway,
whatever.
Allensapalooza, September 21st that's a Saturday, 2013 at Allen's Camera, 4401 New Falls Road in Levittown, PA. There will be giveaways. We're going to give away a couple $1,000 worth of Nikon stuff and some other stuff from other people. But a D7100 will be going home with somebody on this day. Because I need somebody like you.
I was thinking of somebody to love.
Somebody.
Need somebody to love.
Somebody to.
Somebody.
No, I'm doing Queen, Steven.
I know you are, but I'm thinking of something different.
Somebody to.
Just like Your octave range is just like Freddie Mercury. Spot
I'm just
on.
like Freddie Mercury, Steven. No, I'm not.
I'm sure you're not like him in many ways.
My buttercup. Oh, Radio Gaga, Radio Goo Goo, Radio Gaga, Radio Goo Goo.
And who got their name from that song?
The Goo Goo Dolls?
Lady Gaga?
No, she did.
Didn't she?
I have no idea.
I thought she did.
Give me a Lady Gaga song.
You're asking the wrong person, but I don't know. She has a million different singles that I can't think of.
Yeah, she's got like 2
right
albums.
now.
Come on, Lady Gaga song, Steven.
I don't know. And I know there's like a million on my mind that I just can't think of titles.
I can't.
I'm not good with titles.
Anyway, Nikon's Ounce-A-Palooza. You could walk away with a Nikon D7100. You definitely could walk away with some tacos. If you're one of the first 200 people there, you will get a taco meal from the taco truck that I hired to come in from the Philly area, because they are an awesome taco truck that will park there and come in, sign up. You don't really need to sign up. You just need to come in, register, which is the same thing as signing up, just so that you can come in and get a ticket to go get your free meal and enter to win the contest. And you have to be present to win the contest. Don't forget Creative Live. I'll be out there on September 18th. If you're in Seattle, come say hi. We'll figure something out, because I got to cancel the Seattle boot camp because there's not enough signups. So that will be getting canceled. So this will be my only time out in Seattle. So keep paying attention for when we do a Frodo walk or something in cahoots with Creative Live. Steven, thank you for this week.
You're welcome.
Let's see some country songs from you guys for us to sing next week. And that is it. That's RAWtalk episode number 49. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.